If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The NFL Draft is one of the most unpredictable and emotionally charged events in professional sports for players like SHEDEUR Sanders, who many believed would go in the top 3 rounds. Hearing his name called at pick 144 was not only unexpected but shocking. The spotlight that's followed SHEDEUR from Jackson State to Colorado and now into the NFL suddenly took a sharp turn, once celebrated as the next great quarterback prospect. He now finds himself lumped in with late-round hopefuls struggling to prove their worth, but in the world of pro football, perception is a dangerous thing. Falling in the draft doesn't necessarily mean falling off the map. Just ask Spencer Rattler. Drafted 150th overall by the New Orleans Saints in 2024, Rattler knows better than anyone how misleading draft positions can be. In an appearance on The Rich Eisen Show, he made it crystal clear, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Speaking directly to Sanders without even needing to say his name more than once, Rattler offered something deeper than sympathy. He offered perspective. It's a blessing to go wherever you get picked. Rattler said with calm confidence, SHEDEUR is a talented quarterback. As we all know, he's going to have his own path. And that's the key word in all of this, path. Not every quarterback comes into the league as the next Peyton Manning. Some have to claw their way up the depth chart, prove themselves in meaningless preseason games, or sit behind veterans for a season or two. Rattler, who has already begun carving out his own story in New Orleans, knows the value of patience. He knows the grind. He knows the burn that comes with feeling underestimated, and he's learned to channel it. He sees the same fire in Sanders, and that's not by coincidence, it's by design. SHEDEUR Sanders has never been one to follow the traditional route. He didn't choose Alabama or Ohio State. He followed his father, Deion Sanders, to Jackson State and then again to Colorado, where he put up impressive numbers against the best defenses college football had to offer. Yet, when it came time for NFL scouts to make decisions, questions about mechanics, decision-making under pressure, and even intangible leadership qualities overshadowed his production. Still, Rattler believes that none of those things define a player. Everybody can't go in the first or second round. He said plainly, take it step by step. Take it day by day, and that's what SHEDEUR is doing. He's not sulking. He's not second-guessing. He's showing up and putting in the work, day after day, like he has something to prove, because he does. There's no sugarcoating the frustrations that come with being a late-round pick. Spencer Rattler was candid about that when asked whether or not he carries a chip on his shoulder. He didn't dodge. He embraced it. You could say so, yeah. He admitted, you want to go out there and prove yourself every single week. That's the kind of mindset that separates those who survive the NFL from those who thrive in it. For SHEDEUR, that ship may be even larger. After all, his name wasn't just followed by stats, it was followed by headlines, highlights, and hype. Falling to the 5th round stung, no doubt about it. But now he's in the best position of all, underestimated, overlooked, and motivated beyond measure. That's the perfect formula for a quarterback trying to make a name for himself in a league where nothing is handed out for free. And here's the reality: regardless of where they were picked, both Rattler and Sanders are now in the same boat. 5th round quarterbacks with something to prove and limited time to do it. Training camps are brutal, the competition is fierce, and the margin for error is razor thin. But unlike some rookies who wilt under the weight of expectations or fade quietly into irrelevance, Sanders is embracing the challenge. In Cleveland, a city starving for quarterback stability, he's already begun turning heads. Whether it's taking command in the huddle, showing poise in red zone drills, or just connecting consistently with receivers, early reports from minicamp and OTA letters suggest he's making the most of every snap. The moment hasn't been too big for him. In fact, it looks like he's been waiting for it. Cleveland's quarterback competition might not be leading the national headlines, but make no mistake, it's one of the most closely watched battles in the building. The Browns brass is keeping a tight lid on evaluations, but the numbers don't lie. Sanders has posted the highest completion percentage and touchdown total among the team's quarterbacks throughout off-season workouts. That doesn't guarantee anything, of course, but it does speak volumes. When asked about his performances, Sanders didn't boast or brag. Instead, he acknowledged the bumps along the way, the misreads, the overthrows, the growing pains, but in that same breath, he made it clear he's improving, he's adapting, and he's ready to lead. That's exactly the kind of mental toughness that turns late-round picks into long-term starters. Still, convincing coaches and front office executives takes more than just stats. It takes consistency, it takes leadership, it takes seizing the moment when it finally comes. For Sanders, that moment may arrive sooner than expected. The Browns' current quarterback situation is far from resolved. Injuries, inconsistency, and off-field distractions have left the door wide open. If Sanders keeps performing the way he has, it's only a matter of time before he's not just splitting reps, he's starting games. Fans have already begun rallying behind him. Local media is starting to pick up the drumbeat. And in a league driven by narratives, the story of a fifth-rounder rising to the top is just too compelling to ignore. It's no longer a matter of if but when. Of course, with opportunity comes pressure. Every throw in practice will be scrutinized. Every preseason snap will be replayed and dissected. Every mistake will be magnified. But Sanders has never been afraid of the spotlight. He grew up in it. From high school highlight reels to nationally televised college games, he's always performed with millions watching. That kind of pressure either breaks you or builds you. Sanders seems built for it. He's calm, he's composed, and most importantly, he's focused. As Spencer Rattler wisely pointed out, success in the NFL doesn't hinge on draft slots. It hinges on preparation, patience, and perseverance. SHEDEUR has all three. The rest is just execution. In many ways, the journey ahead for Sanders mirrors Rattler's own to former college stars, humbled by draft day realities, now out to redefine their stories. And as we've seen countless times before, the league doesn't care about where you were picked once the game starts. All that matters is performance. For Sanders, the journey has just begun. He's already overcome doubt, defied expectations, and shown glimpses of brilliance. If he continues on this path, he won't just be a feel-good story, he'll be a franchise cornerstone. Whether it's in Cleveland or elsewhere, the tools are there, the mindset is there. And thanks to players like Spencer Rattler, the perspective is there too, because in the NFL, it's never about how you start, it's always about how you finish. So what's next for SHEDEUR Sanders? Only time will tell. But if the early signs are any indication, he's not just here to fill a roster spot, he's here to make noise. He's here to compete, and he's here to win, with a chip on his shoulder and a legacy in his blood. Sanders has all the ingredients to flip the narrative, whether that happens in Week 1, Week 8, or next season. One thing is clear, this story is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started, and for those who doubt him now, they might want to take a page from Rattler's book. Watch quietly, because greatness sometimes starts in the shadows of the fifth round. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. There's a storm quietly brewing in Cleveland, and it's not just about the usual off-season speculation. Whispers are getting loud around the Browns training facility, and the name at the center of this latest stir is none other than Myles Garrett. According to multiple unnamed sources close to the team, Garrett may have recently made some less than flattering comments about SHEDEUR Sanders. The rookie quarterback brought in amid tons of media buzz and sky-high expectations, while no one from the organization has gone on record. Several players have reportedly overheard remarks that suggest Garrett isn't entirely sold on SHEDEUR's approach, attitude, or readiness for the NFL spotlight. In a league where locker room harmony can make or break a season, even subtle friction like this can escalate quickly. Fans, insiders, and media personalities alike are starting to question, is this just veteran frustration, or is Garrett seeing something others are missing? SHEDEUR Sanders entered the NFL with more spotlight than most rookies ever dream of, not just because of his impressive college numbers, but also due to his last name and the charisma that comes with being Deion Sanders' son. Cleveland saw the signing as bold, perhaps even risky, but filled with upside. Yet from the moment he walked into the Browns locker room, some players reportedly viewed him as the polished, to Hollywood, to focused on branding. That's not to say SHEDEUR isn't putting in the work, but word is, not everyone's convinced. And Garrett, known for his quiet intensity and team-first mentality, may be the loudest silent critic in the room. There are murmurs he's told close friends within the team that SHEDEUR hasn't earned anything yet, and acts like a 10-year vet without throwing a pro pass, while it's still hearsay. In NFL locker rooms, perception often becomes reality real quick. It's important to note that Myles Garrett isn't known for drama. On the contrary, he's earned a reputation as a disciplined, focused leader who keeps his head down and performs. So for him to allegedly express frustration, especially publicly or semi-publicly, is raising eyebrows among analysts and teammates alike. Some believe it's a calculated veteran move to establish a hierarchy early and remind young players that being a pro in Cleveland isn't just about stats or highlights, it's about sweat, sacrifice, and culture, but others interpret the reported remarks as a sign of deeper discontent with the front office's decision to bring in such a high-profile rookie without a proven NFL track record. Could this be the first crack in what was supposed to be a new Browns era, built around unity and promise, or is it simply a natural growing pain, the kind every team experiences when transitioning to a younger generation of stars? While Garrett hasn't gone on the record, and SHEDEUR has remained characteristically cool and media-savvy in his interviews, something feels off. During recent OTA letters and mini-camps, keen-eyed reporters noted that Garrett and SHEDEUR barely interacted. No handshakes, no sideline jokes, no visible chemistry. That might seem trivial to some, but in today's NFL, where locker room dynamics often shape team identity, those little moments matter. An NFL scout told the local Cleveland radio station off the record that there's a disconnect that you can feel, even if you can't put your finger on it. Could it be generational? Could it be personality clashes? Or maybe it's about football philosophy, Garrett's old-school grind versus SHEDEUR's new-age branding. Either way, the silence between the Browns' defensive cornerstone and their potential future QB is becoming deafening, and fans are starting to take notice in a big way. Inside the Browns facility, some believe this friction, if true, could become a defining storyline of the season. And in a league where drama often drives performance, that's both exciting and alarming. Garrett has reportedly taken younger defenders under his wing this offseason, but SHEDEUR hasn't exactly been seen bonding with many veterans. That isolation could be a product of rookie focus or a subtle signal that he's on a different wavelength than the rest of the squad. While SHEDEUR's work ethic has been praised by coaches and his talent is undeniable, there's growing concern that the locker room may struggle to rally around him if he doesn't win over key leaders like Garrett. One team insider even hinted that Garrett told someone close, "We've been through too much here to hand the keys to someone just because of his name." That line, if true, speaks volumes about underlying tensions. Social media hasn't helped either. SHEDEUR's polished Instagram posts, custom cleats, and behind-the-scenes content have drawn mixed reactions. Fans love it, but some in the locker room reportedly see it as a distraction. Garrett, who tends to stay off social media unless it's strictly business or community work, may view SHEDEUR's online presence as a sign of misplaced priorities. It's a classic old-school versus new-school debate that plays out in every workplace. But in an NFL locker room, where egos, expectations, and reputations are constantly clashing, it can become combustible. One former Browns player commented anonymously, "It's not about jealousy, it's about respect. If you come in flashing cameras before proving yourself, guys will push back." And if Garrett is indeed the one leading that pushback, SHEDEUR could be facing his first real test not against defenses on the field, but against scrutiny from within his own camp. Of course, this could all be smoke without fire. NFL teams are notorious for leaking misleading stories, either to light a fire under players or to manipulate public perception. It wouldn't be the first time a so-called beef was manufactured or exaggerated to sell a narrative. But even the possibility that Garrett isn't thrilled with SHEDEUR carries weight, especially in a franchise starving for stability. This is the Browns, after all, a team with a history of internal drama derailing promising seasons. Fans have every right to be curious, concerned, or even skeptical. The team needs SHEDEUR to succeed, but they also need Garrett to lead. If there's even a whisper of tension between those two cornerstones, it could shape the identity of this team for better or worse. And in today's NFL media landscape, rumors move fast, and perception often precedes truth. What's also interesting is that some insiders say Garrett's frustrations aren't just about SHEDEUR's personality but his play. During practice sessions, SHEDEUR has reportedly struggled with timing against the first-team defense, which of course includes Garrett. One coach allegedly said SHEDEUR looked rattled under pressure, and Garrett may have taken that as a sign that the rookie isn't quite ready for the big leagues yet. That sentiment, if shared among other veterans, could create a dangerous divide between offense and defense, a split that has plagued many promising teams in the past. And when the defense starts feeling like they're carrying the load while the offense is still catching up, tensions rise, especially when the quarterback is young, flashy, and under the microscope. Whether Garrett voiced those frustrations directly or indirectly, it's becoming clear that not everyone's on the same page heading into the preseason. Still, SHEDEUR has plenty of time to flip the narrative. He's only a rookie and early struggles are expected. But the locker room politics are already heating up, and he'll have to navigate them carefully. Winning over the fans is one thing, winning over someone like Myles Garrett is another. Garrett is the soul of that defense, the heartbeat of the franchise. His voice carries weight in the locker room, in the coaching room, and even in the front office. If there's a wedge between him and the new face of the offense, the Browns, we'll have to address it fast. Maybe that's through a private conversation, a team-building retreat, or just good old-fashioned success on the field. But make no mistake, if this reported tension grows, it could become the biggest Browns storyline of the year, bigger than wins, losses, or playoff hopes. That's how powerful locker room dynamics can be. At the end of the day, NFL seasons are shaped by much more than what happens on Sundays. It's what happens in practice, in meetings, in casual comments, and behind closed doors that really defines team chemistry. Garrett may never publicly confirm what's being whispered. SHEDEUR may keep playing the PR game like a pro, but in a league that thrives on conflict, this rumored tension between two of the Browns' most high-profile players is worth watching. Maybe it's all just noise, maybe it's a smokescreen to motivate both sides, or maybe it's a genuine clash of eras, old school grit versus new school flash. Whatever it is, the eyes of the NFL world are turning toward Cleveland, waiting to see how this story unfolds, because if there's one thing we know about the Browns, it's that peace and quiet never last long, and where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you like the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!